August 2024, I booked my first client for like $600. In the course, we went over creating like a process roadmap and like a little services menu. And this client, like, okay, she was like, let's just do it. That ended up being like 3,500. Looking back from where I started, just like not even a year ago to now, I never thought someone would pay me that much. DBA has been like that turning point, like literally for my business. And the whole course itself was so easy to manage with kids. Like even with the homework and everything, if anyone ever asks me about it, I'll just tell them immediately, just do it. Like you won't regret it.
Welcome to the Unapologetic Designer Podcast, where we chat controversial design topics and expose the raw truth about life as a designer. Welcome back to the podcast. I have a guest here with me today who is an extremely talented designer, a mom, and also a recent Design Biz Academy University graduate. So Haley, do you want to further introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Hali. I took DBA this past semester 9, and it's been really great and exciting.
Wait, we need to go back because have I been pronouncing your name wrong the whole fucking time?
Used to it. It's okay. I don't even correct people anymore.
Like even since I first chatted with you, I'm pretty sure I was like, "Hey Haley," and I don't ever remember you correcting us. Okay, so it's just like a either or at this point.
Even my grandpa, he lives in the Philippines and he even says my name wrong. So it's just been like a whole life kind of thing. So I'm so used to it by now.
I'm dead. Well, I'm glad that you're just like, it's whatever, because I'm like, how the fuck is this my student? And I've been saying her name wrong the whole time.
Like, I know I feel bad now for not correcting you, but it's just I just get so used to it that I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like I'm just like, yeah, like even at the doctor's office, if they're like, Haley, I'm like, present, here I am. Like,
I mean,
I'm so now.
It is a unique spelled way. It is.
Yes.
So, I mean,
I don't think you're not the first person and you will not be the last. I will tell you that.
Okay. Moving on from that.
Yes.
How did you get started in design? Talk to me a little bit about your story.
Yeah, so oh my gosh, so back in college, years ago, I actually wanted to do web design. And I was taking courses for that for a while, but then I kind of had family chirping in my ear, like, oh, you should go into nursing or go into my mom wanted me to be a doctor because, Asian. So she's like, be a doctor. And I was like, no, don't want to do that. Not that much of a fan of people, so that's not for me. But yeah, and so instead of going the web design route, they're like, okay, well, why don't you do something that can actually make money and go do software development. So I was like, okay, fine. So I graduated with my 4-year degree in software development. Hated every second of it. I still hate it to this day, but I have my degree, so that works, I guess. And after that, I started working for a software company, doing that. And I was a really great company, but I still just
hated it.
And so then I got moved into project management. I hated that as well. And last July, I actually left that job. And during this whole time, I'm still playing around with design, designing things for fun on the side, just because I was like, okay, I really enjoy this. I like this, but never really thought to go and do it freelance. It seemed really scary. And at that point, I started having kids. I was married. So I was like, okay, can't really I don't know, I was too scared to take that leap to go freelance. And so actually this past July, I was just like, okay, this job isn't working for me. The hours are just crazy with the kids and everything. So I actually left my job to just be a stay-at-home mom and just focus, because I got 3 kids under 5. So it's just, and they're all girls and they're all feral. So it's just chaos central. And so I was just like, okay, I need to just take a breather and hang out with them for a little bit. But, in this economy, I was like, okay, well, we need money. So I need to figure out something. And then I just saw videos on TikTok and stuff. And then I saw actually you guys on Instagram. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just try to do the design stuff. Let me just put it out there and see if anyone would be interested. And so actually last August 2024, I booked my first client for like $600. And I was like, oh my God, I was like, someone paid me like $600. Like, what the fuck? I was like, okay, like that's awesome. And like I like that just like kicked it off. I was just like, I love this. I love like working with like people that I want to work with. And so it just kind of kept going from there. It was like $600 clients, and then I bumped it up to 900, and then I got a $900 client, and I was like, oh my gosh, because I was like, no one's gonna pay me 900. Like, and before that, I was like, no one's gonna pay me 600 to like do this. And then they did. And then like someone else did, and someone else did. And so then I bumped it up to 900, and I was like, okay, no one's gonna want to like do this with me for $900. Like, it just seemed like a lot. And then somebody did. And then I was just like, oh shit. I was like, okay. So I kept doing that, did a couple more for 900. Then I was like, okay, let me just try bumping it to 1200. And at that point, you started talking to me on Instagram about joining DBA. And because I've been following it for a long time, like I had been like trying to save up for it, and like I was looking at it and I was like, I feel like I really need this course. And I
Yeah,
was
I had to
like,
get Marissa to go push you. I was like, she's not going to respond to me, but we need her. As I saw your work, and I was like, I know you can be, like, I went and looked at your prices, and I was like, I know that she's capable of so much more. And I was like, Marissa, I need you to go push her. Like, she needs the mindset. And I remember you typed out and you're like, well, I've been thinking about it, but I don't have consistent clients yet. Like, I don't have consistent income. So talk to me more about like why you finally decided to take the leap anyways.
like I don't it was just kind of like screw it kind of moment. I was like, I didn't want this. It was not like anything like against DBA, because like I had been like lurking. I opened like every email that you guys send. At that point I was like opening and reading through them, and like I think past semester I was like, "Oh, I wish I could have done that like that semester." And so it was like, okay, I was like, I feel like I'm at a point where I just need the mindset work. Like, which felt kind of silly to me at first, because I was like, okay, why do I need people to tell me like how to work on like my own
Mhm.
mindset? But at the same time, my brain wasn't doing it for me at that like moment anyways. So I was like, okay. And I was like, it's just gonna keep happening. I'm gonna keep pushing it off. I'm just gonna keep, making up excuses for myself, like as to why I can't do it that moment. And so talking to you guys was just like, you know what? I need this. They have a spot open. I'm gonna grab it, I'm gonna snag it, and I'm just gonna do it and go for it, and like, see if it pays off. And it has, like, it's been great. Like, besides like meeting all of like the other people that were in the course, like you guys, talking to you guys, it has just been great. Like, I feel like I'm definitely more confident after the whole semester. I think from where I was at just like what was that, 3 months ago? Yeah,
Yeah.
months. Yeah, I don't know. I'm Asian, but not good at math. So like 3 months ago, am I allowed to say that? I don't know. So yeah, like 3 months ago, I was like very, I guess, not as confident as I am now. Like now I look at my work and my pricing, and I'm like, you know what? Like I deserve to get paid what I want to get paid. Like I put in like so much effort and like love and care, as cheesy as that sounds, into like every project that I do. And I become friends with every client that I work with. And I'm like, I'm not doing it just for the money, but the money is nice. I will say that. But it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like more empowered. I guess that's a better word than confident. I don't know. But
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, most people say like most of our students describe it as confidence, but I like that you
yeah.
say empowered because I really think that is what it is. And I feel like having that empowered feeling is probably the thing that led you to now booking your highest paid project. Do you want to share more about like how you got that client and like how everything happened?
Okay, so in the course, we went over like creating like a process roadmap and like a little services menu for discovery calls. And I had just never thought of that before. Like I was just on discovery calls, winging it and just hoping for the best. And so once I started doing that, And even clients that I didn't book before this one, they were like, okay, that looks, they would message me after and be like, that looked really professional. Like, thank you. And this client, she had come to me just looking for like branding. She doesn't have any to begin with. And so we were talking about that, and I had my services menu up. And before, I didn't really have my web design service next to my branding. But this time I had changed it up, like literally like 10 minutes before the call. I was like, okay, let me just put like my web design on here real quick next to all this and just have it all on one page instead of going back and forth. And so we're sitting there talking about the mini branding, and then I could like see her eyes like drifting, and she was like, well, wait a minute, I didn't know you did web design. And I was like, yeah. And so we started talking about that a little bit, and she was like, well, I'm like DIYing my website right now, but she hates doing it. And she was like, it's hard, it's time consuming. She was like, so can we just like put the two together? Is there like a bundle? And I was like, yes. So we started talking about that some more. And then she was just like, okay. She was like, let's just do it. I feel like she had like a screw it moment too,
Yeah.
where she's like, okay, I need to just do this. I need to like get it out of my system and just do it. And I was like, okay, like I can send over the proposal, the invoice and everything. And she was like, okay. And so that ended up being like 3,500. And so that's my highest paying one. I think the one that I had previously for just branding was just 1,800. So like looking back from where I started, just like not even a year ago to now, from like $600 to like 35, I never thought someone would pay me that much. And I was just like, holy crap. Like if it wasn't for like the stuff that I picked up and learned in DBA, I like am fully convinced that I would not have been able to like book her for branding and web design, because I wouldn't have talked about it. I would have been just focused on the brand design part, and like it would have been $1,800, but still that would be something. But still 3,500. I was like, dang. I was like, okay. I was like, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, 5K's next, right?
I know. Fingers crossed. I'm praying for that, but slowly getting there. It's taking a little bit of time, but as long as I get there, that's all that matters.
Well, I think that, like, especially these interviews with our graduates really speak to just how everyone's journey is different, right? Like, we have
Yeah.
some students come on who maybe they were already booking, 3K, 4K, 5K projects, and they go book their first 10K client. But that doesn't mean that you or anyone else can't get to that point. Maybe it just happens at a little bit slower pace because you joined DBA sooner in your journey than others do.
Exactly.
And like, I think that's something that all designers really need a reminder of sometimes, is like, even if you're not where you want to be yet, it can happen. And sometimes it just takes that little inch by inch, client by client, like you were saying.
Oh,
Like, you
yeah.
started at 600, then 900, then 1,800, then you were like, okay, I really need the mindset work, I really need that extra momentum. And that's what DBA did for you. And now it's just going to like keep going and keep going and keep going.
Oh, yeah.
How did you find balancing DBA while being a mom of three toddlers? Because a lot of people, their excuse is, well, it's not the right time. I'm a busy mom. I don't have time. I'm taking care of my family. I still have this, and this. So, what was that experience like for you?
Yeah, so honestly, I felt like it was pretty easy managing DBA. And I can't speak for other people, but for me, I could just like sit on the couch with my laptop, pop in my headphones, they're watching TV. Yes, my kids get screen time whenever I need to focus. So I was like, we can all watch something together. And so that was like really a lot of the time that like I spent doing was when I was just hanging out with them on the couch. And I really like the fact that there were so many recordings, even for like the live calls that I would miss, just like going to pick up my daughter or something. And just being able to go back and watch those was super helpful. And I love that you guys like do that and include the recordings just for people who can't make the live calls. Because that was something else that I was really worried about like before joining, because I knew there were live calls and I was like, well, shoot. I was like, well, we've got like other stuff to do like around that. And then I saw the time that it was at, and I was like, I am out of the house at that time for like an hour. Like, I'm like usually gonna completely miss it. And then I saw that it was recorded and like put up there, and I was just like, oh, it's like, thank God. And the whole course itself was so easy to manage with kids, like even with the homework and everything. And I guess it's because I already kind of manage clients like in that short kind of time frame that the homework is in anyways. But it's all just a matter of like blocking your time and like taking like an hour, maybe 2 hours each day to really focus on like the coursework and the homework and everything. And so you guys do a really good job of like giving us like a good chunk of time to get everything done, everything completed. And yeah, it wasn't terrible. It was good. I would do it again in a heartbeat. Like
I love that you shared that because we do have, for what feels like a lot of people, an accelerated timeline. But when you're doing that client work, like you said, that's kind of like the same timeline. And like
yeah.
we kind of pressured you to like push yourself, but also it has that flexibility. Like it's not like a normal school. Like if you don't do your homework, we're not gonna be on your ass. Like we just expect you to turn in your homework when you turn in your homework, but also like it's hybrid. So you can go through the curriculum at your own pace. If it's 12 in the morning, if it's 10 a.m., like whenever it works for you. And we've said it many times before, like moms, like anybody else that's got busy life stuff going on, people with full-time jobs, people still in college, like our program is still for you. It's not a full-time commitment. It's a hybrid, very part-time commitment. And
Very part-time.
yeah, like I remember you didn't even come to all the calls. Like I remember when you weren't there
Yeah.
and you were still like an A student and like you got great results even though you didn't make it to every live call because
Mhm.
you still put in the work. Even you were like, okay, I'm not gonna be there live, but let me actually go and take advantage of the recording and like stay up to
Yeah.
date. Cause like sometimes people won't, like they won't do it. And so when you didn't come to the orientation, I was like, oh no.
I know. I was so mad about that because I was like asking my husband, I was like, do you think like because my husband's in the military, so they're his like where he's at right now, they're a little bit lenient about like letting him like go do stuff like during the day, like during working hours and stuff. So I was like, can you go get her this day? Like I was like, it's like the first freaking call so he asked, and of course they were like, no, we have stuff going on today. So I was like, fine. I was like, all right. Well, and then, obviously I missed the call, but then I saw the recording and I was like, oh, that's so awesome. Like, I wish I could have met everyone that call, but it is what it is.
You know, you still could technically join from your phone in, your car and been like, I can't talk. Because some people do that and it works.
That's true. See, I blame my kids because that did not cross my mind once. And now I'm just like, well, damn. Because did not occur to me like at all. Like my brain was just like poof, like nope, not even gonna think about that. But yeah, well, hindsight, yeah, if someone does join, they can do it from their phone too. So there you go.
Yeah, maybe we need to start making a note of that. Like, even
Yeah.
if you can't be present and talk, like you can still sit in and listen if you are busy doing shit. Because like we
Yes.
want you to be there regardless of what's going on, even if like the camera's off and you're doing something completely different and we're just in the background. Like that's better than nothing, you know?
Exactly. No, I'm so mad at myself now. I could have just been sitting there waiting and just listening to you guys. Oh, if only I could go back in time. That's gonna eat away at me now. But here I am, so it's okay.
So
No.
how did the client that you recently booked find you, and how have you been getting clients up to this point?
Yeah. Well, so up to this point, it's just been kind of like word of mouth and Instagram, really. And actually, a few from like randomly from TikTok, which got me excited because I've been trying to like do TikTok more and knowing that it worked a little bit to get a few clients. Awesome. But most of them have been from Instagram. And this recent client for the $3,500 one, she actually was at some photography retreat and she was talking about needing branding there to somebody. And they were like, okay, well, I know some like brand people. And she was like, okay, cool. And so she got in touch with another designer who she didn't tell me who, but like they have like a lot bigger following than I do. Let's put it that way. Or that's what she said. And so she messaged them and she didn't hear back from them for like 2 weeks and like put in like an inquiry and everything and just never heard back. And so the person that she was talking to was like, okay, well, I found like this person, me, like just randomly. I don't even think she was following me or anything. And she was just like, why don't you try them? Like their work looks like what you're looking for. And she said she looked at my Instagram and that was just it. She knew that she wanted to work with me. And then she just like literally, I remember getting her message because she inquired like during like when I was picking up my daughter from school, like during a pickup. And I was like, oh, cool, I'm inquiring. Like I'll get to that when I get home. And then all of a sudden, like 10 minutes later, she like messaged me and she was like, hey, like I just really want to work with you. Da, da, da. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. So it was just really random. It was all kind of by chance that she found me. But the power of Instagram, like, making sure your work is updated and looking nice and everything, like it paid off.
But was it really by chance though? Because you took a leap of faith and invested in yourself and started building that
Exactly.
momentum and changing things, and the
Yeah,
universe was
that's
like,
true.
here you go. Here's your next big client.
I know, like how crazy is that? Like, I don't know. But yeah, honestly, like without DVA, like I wouldn't have put like obviously I was putting like work into like my like business and everything, but I don't think I was putting it like effort and stuff into the correct things. And so after DBA, like I've changed like my client process. I've updated my website. I mean, like my website still like looks the same, but like there's things from the course and talking to like Marissa where she was just like, okay, change this, change that. And so I've updated those. The only thing I haven't changed is the pricing yet up to the 5,000 that she wants to see. And I'm just
Yeah, you
I'm
need to
just
do
scared
that.
to do that.
No,
I
you need
know.
to get on that ASAP. I was looking at your website today and I was like, the
I
fuck
know.
is this?
I know. I just like I said, I'm so scared. Like I know I just put like 3,500 and it's like I think it's gonna take a minute for me to be like, okay, like I know that's what I want and what like the price point that I want to get to. It's just I think again, it's like my own like mental block that I'm trying to like work through. And so and like I'm telling you, it's like sitting and show it. I have the draft, like the I guess the update ready to like have the 5,000 there and I just need to hit publish. But I'm just like I sweat when I think about it because I'm just like, oh my God, what if no one wants to like work with me again? Kind of reverting back a little bit, but at the same time, like I go back and forth with myself because I'm like, okay, you do like good work, like people want to work with you, like all the mindset stuff that we talked about during the course. I like do it, I go through it, like all of our little meditation things, like with like the head and everything, like I do those. And I'm like, okay, like just do it, just do it. And then like as soon as I'm about to hit publish, I just get so sweaty. So I'm working up to it. It's there. I need to hit publish.
Okay, so as you know, I'm the action coach. So the mindset stuff isn't necessarily my specialty. I'm very much more logical. So,
Yes.
like, think about your dream clients. They're like photographers. Most photographers that are looking for the style you provide, extremely elevated, are more luxury. Don't you think they're
Yes.
probably charging like 3 to 7K for their services
Oh
on
yeah.
average?
Oh yeah.
So you should definitely be charging somewhere in the equivalent of that, because
Mhm.
the way I see it right now, your prices are actually still so low on your website that you could be scaring away some of those higher luxury dream clients.
I know. And that's what I worry about too. And so like hearing you say that and like I knew it too, but I'm just like, okay. So I'm like, okay, I just need to do it and go hit publish because I'm just so ready. Like I've been trying to elevate everything. Like I've even started doing like client gifts now after DBA because I never really thought about like client gifts. Like I'll be like, oh, thank you, like talking to them and stuff, and like we'll be texting and whatnot. But like now I'm like, okay, I'm making gifts for them. Like I'm just like kind of expanding my whole process, and I'm just like, okay, it's more elevated. I want those elevated clients. So I need to just go hit publish and get up to that $5,000 point.
Well, here's the other thing that can make it feel less intimidating. Say pricing starts at $5,000 or payment plans at X amount per month. Like,
I
if
like that.
you're worried about it intimidating people, having a pricing plan under it that says, monthly payments of blah, 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 can make it feel a little bit more approachable and feasible for, potential clients.
Yeah,
So then that might make
exactly.
you feel better.
Honestly, it probably will. I'll do that because, yeah, again, I didn't think about that. See, even after DBA, you guys are so helpful.
Yeah, you
Oh,
need to come to Scaling Summit.
I know. So now I just need to book that $5,000 client to pay for it because I'm just like, I keep looking at it and I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, I need to go. It looks so wonderful. It looks so nice. Like,
Literally, you need after this, you need to go update your website to SDAT so that you can
okay.
book that client and we can see you in person.
I know. Okay. So like come back like I need you to like go check in like 15 minutes like after we're done and just be like like Precious, you hit publish yet?
Okay, I'll hold you accountable.
Yes, I know. Like see sweating. I'm sweating thinking about it, but I know I just need to do it.
We need Coach Jess here, the EFT tapping.
I know, where is she? I needed to go do that. Like, it makes me feel better. After we did that, I felt silly at first, and like I kept doing it, and like I would go back and like again watch the recording, and I'm just like that was super helpful. Like another thing that I never thought of. Like I don't know. Like I feel like I sound like an airhead because I'm just like, oh, I didn't think about that. But I blame my kids for that. They suck the life out of my brain. So sometimes I'm like my brain runs on kids and branding and like that's it and like design. Those are the only two things that kind of function up there sometimes.
Well, I had never done it either. Literally until we did it on the call, like I just was going with the flow. I was like, okay, whatever this is, I'm gonna do it. And like I started following. And like it does feel kind of weird at first, but then you realize that everybody in the room is actually, even though it's a virtual room, everyone in the room is
Yeah.
actually doing it. And then everybody's like, oh, that was cool.
So yeah, so you don't feel weird. Like, cause I don't know why. I was like looking around my office like someone else was here and I'm just like kind of like doing it in secret. I'm like, wait, nobody's here. Like, why? Like, no one can see me on the second floor of my house. I'm like, no one sees me right now. But I was like, oh my God. I was like, okay, no one's watching.
Yeah, I think that's part of like the growth part of it too. Like
Yes.
stepping
Yeah.
into that uncomfortability. And like that's all DBA is about is like making a big investment that's uncomfortable and then like meeting people that you don't know and it's uncomfortable and then doing exercises and talking about money and all these different things that like stretch, your original comfort zone or whatever you think is possible.
Yes. No, that's like a great way to describe it. It's just like the whole thing is like uncomfortably beautiful because like you feel so uncomfortable, but it's just like it pays off and you feel so much better at the end. And that's why like even doing this, like I have like such bad anxiety that like before I think I probably would have said no to you if you were like, "Hey, do you want to be on my podcast?" I would have been like, "No." Like I have too much anxiety. I'm an introvert. I don't want to do that. But like after the course, it's just kind of like okay, just do it. Like, it's just another thing that could help you. It's another thing that like I feel so passionate about DBA that I was just like, you know what, I would love to talk about it. And so it has helped me so much. And so I was like, okay, let's just do it. And like even, oh my gosh, the discovery call, practice call during like that, I think was probably the most uncomfortable part for me during
Oh
the whole
yeah.
course.
Everybody hates that call. People
It
don't
was
show up to that call. They're like, "Oh, that one not going."
that was the one call I showed up to, and I didn't even because I was trying to like find what the call was about, and maybe I just didn't see it, or like maybe my
Oh,
brain
you went
blocked.
in blind and then we're like, "We're practicing discovery calls." And you're like, "Fuck, I'm here. I have to follow through now."
I legit thought about like leaving and being like, oh no, my internet went out. Like for a split second, I was like, my finger was hovering over the leave button. I was like, I don't want to do this. I was like, I'm so like awkward. Like, and so, but I didn't, I stayed. So
Yeah, and it probably helped you book that
it did.
client.
It did because it got all of the uncomfortability out. Like I'm still awkward on calls and everything, and I still get anxiety, but it's like I don't know, it just helped me kind of just be like, you know what? It's just another person. Just talk, you're talking about your business, so just do it. And so the call definitely helped, and even though I'm still super awkward, but it helped.
I think that we're having a grand time. I don't think this is
I
awkward at
am.
all.
No, it's just me. I don't know. I just think, I don't know. I just like, I don't know. I'm terrible with like talking to people and I'd rather just be quiet and just kind of hang back and not have to say anything. And I think yeah, that was the worst part about the discoveries call because I would wanted to just kind of sit back and listen, and then all of a sudden it was just like, bam, go talk to each other.
And
Shit.
we're gonna watch you while you do it and then judge you on it.
God, it was so I was so wet. I think I like sweat through my shirt that day. I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is so awful. But it paid off. So
Well, the whole premise is like, if you're gonna be an idiot and like fuck up, you should do it there with us, then better,
exactly.
on a call with the client.
Exactly. No, and telling you it worked because it definitely helped me like slow down and really think about like what I wanted to say and you know kind of help get that point of view from being like someone's client, and being able to talk to another designer who was like, okay, you're talking too fast, or you didn't explain that very well. And it's just like things that I did that I didn't really realize I was doing. I think that's who I was talking to, Jess or Jessica. She was like, I don't know, I'm terrible. See, I'm terrible with names too. But she was just like, hey, you talk too fast, which I still do a little bit. I'm trying to slow down a little bit. But she was like, you talk too fast, like you skip through this part too quickly and everything. And I was like, geez, okay, like I didn't think that I did that. And so it has helped a lot with calls. Like if it's like a client, I really like take a lot of deep breaths. I'm like, slow down. I'm like, talk like you're like drunk or something on borderline being drunk, like coherent drunk. Because I just need to talk slow and not so like speedy uppy like I do, like I have been doing. But.
Yeah, no, I get that. I think it's sometimes like we are so excited about something, but it also makes us nervous. So we try to talk fast to get through it faster because I used to do that in school
Mhm.
when I would have to do public speaking. I used to be very, very bad at it because, like, when I was in school, I didn't really know myself as well. I didn't know how to talk about myself. I didn't know, like, so then when I got up in front of a group of people to say something, I would start talking really, really fucking fast because I was like, I just want this to be over. But yeah, like
Exactly.
on client calls, you have to like, it's okay to like pause and just be like, this is what happens next. And like think about what you're going to say.
Yes, and that's definitely, and having that process roadmap has definitely helped too, because everything's there, and I'm like, okay, like I have like the intro slide, I have like the main slide, and it helps me really slow down and break down what I'm going through. And so I'm not blowing through everything so fast, and at least they have something to track and go through. And yeah, it's just been so helpful. I know I keep going back to that process roadmap, but it's just been so incredibly helpful. Like that was like one of like the top 5 things from the course that has been like so incredibly helpful for me because it's just like I never thought to have something like that. It's just kind of like this. We've just kind of been talking, I'll have my notes and stuff and I'll write stuff down, but it's never been something that kind of gives structure to the call.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so that's been huge for me.
All right. Your unapologetic review of DBA. Go.
Oh, unapologetic. I don't even know. It's just been so great. I don't think I have anything bad to say. I was so scared joining just because I was like, okay, this is like a lot of money for me at the time. I was just like, well, I mean, what am I saying? It's still a lot of money for me. But I was just like, this is a lot of money. Like, I don't know. I was so scared to join, but I'm so glad I did. And I'm so glad like you guys like kind of kept pushing me and telling me like, you do this. And I was just like, okay, I need it. I'll do it. And yeah, I don't have a single bad thing to say about DBA. Like if I could tell if anyone ever asks me about it, I'll just tell them immediately, just do it. Like you won't regret it. It'll be so extremely helpful for you. Like just do it. Like, I don't even care if you need to put it on a credit card like I did. Just freaking do it and just like, just enjoy it and learn everything that you can from it because it's so amazing.
And you had like ignored my first voice message, and I know you said you didn't mean to, but I think that like the fact that like I followed up again like 2 months
Yes.
later and was like, I'm sending you another voice message. And I think that this whole experience just goes back to not being afraid to sell yourself. Like, even though
Yes.
I'm like a coach, Marissa's a coach, we have to sell our program. And like,
Mhm.
people miss opportunities to help others because they're afraid to be annoying. I was like, you know what? I already sent a voice message. she can tell me to fuck off if she doesn't want me to send another one. So I sent another one. And like, had I never done that and had the audacity to be like, yeah, she needs to be in our program and I'm going to follow up again, you wouldn't be here right now. So like,
No, honestly.
clients might do that too. Like you might voice message a client and think, oh, they don't want to hear from me or they're ignoring me or blah, blah, blah. But it's like, maybe they're just busy and forgot.
No, and I actually did that same thing after DBA for like another client that I had booked before this one. And like she had messaged me and like we were talking about it and she kind of left me on red. And so like a couple weeks later, I was like, oh, by the way, like, it sounds like you wanted this. Like, do you need it? And like I just sent, we didn't even get on a call yet. I just sent over the proposal and also like a booking link for a call if she wanted to get on a call before like looking or like signing it or anything. And so she did, and I ended up actually booking that one too. And I was thinking about you the entire time because I was like, oh, I accidentally left her on red, and like thank God you followed up. And so I was like, okay, let me do that same thing to somebody else. And guess what? It worked and it paid off again.
Yeah, you just gotta like not be afraid to face the reality that someone might think you're annoying for 2 seconds. And like
Exactly.
9 times out of 10, they probably don't think that you're annoying. They're just busy. And if you
Mhm.
know they need what you have to offer, like you're doing them a disservice by not following up.
Exactly. And at the same time, like I also try to tell myself, like, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter how many like times I message you. Obviously, I'm not going to go like spam someone like 20 million times, within reason. But if like I message you twice, I'm kind of just like, okay, like I'm just trying to tell myself like, who cares? Like they're trying to
Totally.
sell a service, I'm trying to sell a service. Like it's just how the world works. And I don't know them in person, they don't know me. Like who cares? And so that's kind of another mindset that I've been getting into in a nice way, obviously in a nice way, because
Yeah.
I do obviously want people to like not be annoyed by me, but at the same time, like I just want to be like, hey, you could use this. Let me help you. Not in an annoying way, but it is
Yeah.
what it is.
That's part of
Exactly.
selling. That's part of selling. Selling is
Exactly.
helping. It doesn't have to be icky.
Exactly. Like if I feel like I'm sending something icky, then I'll be like, okay, no, I'm not gonna do that. But if I'm just like following up or something, I'm just like, screw it. Like I'm just gonna do it. I think that needs to be like monogrammed on a hat for me. Just screw it. Like I'm just gonna do it. I feel like that's how like I've been, but like in the best way possible. Like it's not like, oh, screw this or something. It's like, screw it. I'm gonna like build my business. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do what I need to do to make it great. And DBA has been like that turning point, like literally for my business. Like I took a chance on something that I was like scared about and it's freaking paying off. Like, so I was
Yeah.
like, well, screw it, just do it.
We need some new merch with that new
Exactly.
slogan for DBA.
Screw it, just do it. You won't regret it. No regrets here.
Well, it has been such a great time chatting with you and like learning more about your experiences and mindset blocks and being a mom. Where can people connect with you online?
Yeah, so I guess I have my Instagram. It's like from Hali dot studio. Yeah, I should probably remember my own.
I'll put it in the description.
My brain was like, stop working.
If you've just finished listening to this episode and you're someone that's been telling yourself you're going to join Design Biz Academy University, but it's not the right time, you'll join next semester, and that you aren't ready because you don't have consistent clients yet, hopefully Hallie's story and her experience has showed you what is possible when you decide to take a leap of faith in yourself and into your future goals. By the time you're listening to this, you'll only have a few more days to join DBA University before our doors close again. And this is the last semester that payment plans will be offered as low as $200 per month. So if you have been waiting for the right time to join, please take advantage of these payment plan options while they are still available. All future cohorts will require a down deposit of at least $1,000 in order to enroll in. And because we are so confident in our program, we now have a new guarantee that states if you don't book your first $5,000 client in 6 months, you can get your full investment back, no questions asked, as long as you are doing the work and following our DBA framework. So if you are ready to book high-ticket design clients and join our community, reach out to us. Let's hop on a call and see if our next semester is right for you. If you want to hear more designer success stories, go ahead and subscribe to the Unapologetic Designer podcast. If you want to join our design community at the Brief Collective or enroll in Design Biz Academy, information on how to do that can be found in the description.